Hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Logan and this is Decode Your Reality. Today I'm going to be breaking down and decoding Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, which you heard the song in the beginning, which is a great remix by A-SKILLZ. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. What does it mean? To get into so much stuff, folks. I promise you it'll be well worth the time you spend watching this video, because you're going to get so many connections. Maybe some of you will get a lot of aha moments, but wait till you see these connections, folks. Wait till you see these connections. Here are the categories or topics we're going to be talking about during this presentation. Number one, we're going to be talking about the Beatles, the song that started it all in 1967. Number two, what are the stars? Number three, you couldn't leave out the Sigil of Lucy or Lucifer, because that's tied into everything in this presentation. Number four, the Father. Number five, the title, Lucy itself. Number six, the Man in the Box. What does that got to do with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? And then, of course, number seven, Lucy in the Sky itself. So those are the topics we're going to be discussing. And then I'd like to know what you saw during this presentation. So before we get started, folks, if you're new to this, just follow along. It's like putting the pieces of a puzzle together. And if you're a returning subscriber, just look in the description. You can just go right to the presentation. You don't want to wait. But we start off with numerology. The science of numbers. Notice Lucy's the 13. And the 13th card in the Cards of Illumination, the connecting point, putting the puzzle together, is the King Hearts card. And then if we go into the Tarot, which is an offshoot of the Cards of Illumination, it's the cousin of the Cards of Illumination. The King of Cups card, cups means hearts, is the 49th card in the deck. And then we go into the String of Pi. Again, we're connecting the dots. The number 49 appears at the 57th and 58th decimal digit of pi. Then we move into the next layer, which is alchemy. The elements of the periodic table. What do these have to do with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? They have everything to do with our reality, period, folks. The 28th element, nickel, has an atomic weight of 57 and also 58, which covers that 49 in the String of Pi. And we know that Lucifer, the title that was given to, it was originally Hyll, but the Romans decided to change it to Lucifer. That's a 28. That's a match of nickel's protons itself, right there. And it leads us right back to the starting point. So you can see when you connect these dots, folks, it gives you a more supported story of what we've been told in this matrix reality. And again, these are stories. Stories. So it all starts off with the actual song, which you heard in the beginning, by the Beatles in 1967. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Some people, if you read it in Wikipedia, it says that it was referencing LSD. Lucy Sky Diamonds, that's LSD. I don't know. The writers say no. But they had a heck of a lot of colors on the actual album cover. A lot of famous faces as well. Notice the subtleties, 24 letters. That's linked to the letter X in our alphabet. X is the 24th letter. That's the X chromosome. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is a 311. In numberempire.com, the number 311 is the 64th prime number. That's a big deal number, folks. 64 squares on a chessboard. 64 possible codons in our DNA. Our DNA. And then the 64th element, gadolinium, has 64 protons, and it has an abbreviation of GD, which could be God. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And there's that 57 as well in the atomic mass of that element. What about the movie The Matrix in 1999? And how does that tie into the 1967 song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Because Paul McCartney says we did the whole thing like an Alice in Wonderland idea. And Morpheus references the Matrix as Wonderland. And this was on the screen of Mr. Anderson's computer, Mr. Neo himself. Follow the White Rabbit. And that's what McCartney goes on to say. This Lucy was God, the big figure, the White Rabbit. Follow the White Rabbit. And then, I made this graph before. I thought this was interesting. Here's another layer that we can observe the Matrix from, and that is the medicine cards. There's 52 of them. Instead of suits or symbols, it goes by animals. The 30th card is the rabbit card, and that's a match of the word Alice. Going down into Wonderland to follow the White Rabbit. The subtleties, it's holding a clock. Time. And then, of course, the heart on the apron, which go right back to this right here. There's the heart tied to Lucy. The King of Cups is the King of Hearts. So absolutely fascinating, folks. Follow the White Rabbit, link to the Matrix. We're in Wonderland. You're in Wonderland right now. The red pill. Red denotes root. Hell. Now, the recording of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was attached to this date right here, 28 February 1967. 67, folks, is linked to Nephilim, the fallen angels, talked about in theology, talked about in the book of Enoch, the Watchers, the Epic of Gilgamesh. 28's linked to Lucifer. Now, the card that's linked to the February 28th is the 10 clubs card. And that's the 23rd card in the deck. Let me show you that, just so you can see. Here's the boilerplate chart. Here are the months at the top, and then here are the days going vertically on the left side, and then all the birthdays are in here, including yours. Including yours. So February 28th, there it is, the 10 clubs card. And then, you can go to the lineages of these cards right here. And the 23rd card in the deck is the 10 clubs card, which is the February 28th card, the recording date of this song. Now, if you want these graphics, just send me an email and I'll send them to you. decodeyourreality@gmail.com, and I'll send them to you. So the 10 clubs card is a massive card in our reality. If you watched my video on the coronavirus timeline, I pointed out clearly that the first case is got a date linked to the 10 clubs card. It's the 10 crown card. The 23rd card is linked to the 23rd or the 23 in numerology, and linked to the word crown and the word blood and the word history. A lot of big titles linked to the number 23. So it's not a coincidence that this song is recorded using this card and these outcomes in numerology. Because as I said, folks, we're being used. We're being used as energetic food. Some of you may not want to accept that. That's okay. But there's power in the understanding of how everything works. Not necessarily in what we believe, because a lot of things we believe are all bullshit. So now we actually get into Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Folks, here is the big cat out of the bag. No more secrets. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is the 88 constellations. Now maybe you already knew that. But we're going to go further and we're going to decode this even more to get more of the narrative of what this really means. 88 is linked to the element yttrium. It's linked to the element radium. Constellations is 54. That's linked to the element xenon, which means stranger, tied to a lightning bolt. There are the chromosomes, the X and the Y chromosomes, and there is the abbreviations of that. 54 and 39 links to our X and Y chromosomes, which links to 88 constellations. How about that? How about that? And, the subtleties, this has 14 letters. The word God equals the number 14. So does the word Satan. Are they one in the same? And there's so many things you can do with this. You can add up these atomic masses. I mean, I'll leave that up to you if you want to tinker with that. I could have gone so deep, but I only have so much time in these presentations. So 88 constellations is a total numerology output of 139. 139 in number empire.com, showing primes and Fibonacci's and trigonal numbers and what have you. It's a great website. You should go there and check it out and do a lot of decoding with that. 139 is the 34th prime number. 34 in the deck of the cards. The 34th card is the 8 diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. The 8 diamonds is the 34th card, and I have the Sigil of Lucifer over the top. Thank you once again, Kevin Clark, for pointing this out. I mean, it lays right over the top of all the diamonds. And I've shown this in one of my first videos. I showed that the Sigil of Lucifer clearly has the letter V in it. Clear. So what does the V mean? What does that V mean? Well, could it mean Venus? I mean, most people that I come across think Lucifer or Lucy is Venus. And there's the V. So it does have some merit, folks. I mean, it goes by the morning star, but wasn't referred to as that. The word adversary equals the number 25, matching that of Venus. But what about that V, linked to Lucy in the sky with diamonds? Well, the element vanadium, the 23rd element, has an abbreviation of the letter V. Vanadium in numerology is a 28. That's a direct match of the word Lucifer itself. Absolutely big connections here, folks, with that right there. And 23 is linked to the crown. 23 is linked to the word crown. It's linked to the word blood. It's linked to the word history. So what's running man, folks? Who's running us? If you say the word 8 diamonds in numerology through the 2 ciphers I primarily use, the first one is 47. Folks, that is the word tetragrammaton, the ancient Israelite god of the Bible. Could Lucifer, Lucy, could it be part of the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh? Could it be the personality or a piece of the personality of the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh? Or could it just be the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh itself? Lucy in the sky with diamonds. I mean, folks, we're going to get into the constellations, so hang on to your hats, okay? But notice the subtleties. Lucifer 28, there's that 28. So it's clear this is one of Lucifer's cards. Crystal clear. The sigil fits right over the top of it. 8 is the number of death and regeneration. It's the infinity symbol on its side. It's the black and the white. 2 zeros coming together, joining forces. It's the black and white itself. It's duality. When we bring in the tarot, the 8 diamonds card is the 8 of pentacles. If you know your tarot, the 8 pentacles card, really powerful card, fortunate outcomes with money and whatnot when you pull this card. You got to work for it. It's the 71st card in the deck. 71 in the periodic table is lutetium. lutetium, Lucifer, Lucy. It's the colors of the rainbow, 7 and 1, because it's violet through red. Lucifer is known as the light bringer. Light is the color spectrum, 7 through 1, 1 through 7. And if you visited Manly P. Hall and read about his stuff, he says Lucifer is the number 741. Crystal clear here, folks, what's going on. Crystal clear. Now, what about the Father? I said I was going to get into the topics of who's the Father. Folks, is it possible that Lucifer, Lucy, is our Father? And it could be Lucy and Lucifer is the male-female, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And it's both, and we're the offspring of that. If you study theology, if you study the book of Enoch and all that stuff, we are the offspring of the Nephilim, if you believe in that story. Now, in Star Wars, Lucas and company decided to use the character Darth Vader, and if you remember this scene, Darth Vader's holding out his hand, he's like, Luke, I'm your father. And he just couldn't accept that, because he was so evil. Darth Vader, of course, holds the red lightsaber. He's wearing all black. Notice the numerology. That's why, folks, that's why I'm saying there is no way man is doing anything here on earth when it comes to these big things on this world stage. Nothing. Because you couldn't sit down and write out the script like this. Never mind writing out the script of the movie and the characters and having to direct and produce it. You ain't sitting down with numerology and the elements and the cards and all and tying them all together. It's not possible. It's just not possible, folks. Darth Vader is a 34. That's a match of the 8 diamonds card, which is Lucifer's card. Which is red. He carries a red lightsaber. Diamonds are red. It's a dead giveaway. I mean, the word hell equals the number 16. Darth is 16. It's just fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating, folks. And that's, Luke, that's why they call him Luke Skywalker. He walking the sky. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. It's the 88 constellations above our head, folks. Darth Vader, when you do the alchemology, an alchemology is taking numerology and bringing it into the elements of the periodic table. And this is extremely accurate. I've shown this over and over and over and over and over and over and over how accurate it is. It's taking the numbers from the letters and then bringing it into the periodic table and then getting a outcome of the numbers of the atomic masses or weights of these elements. We go over to the trusty calculator, we add up all 10 letters of Darth Vader. Of course, 10 is the Yod. 10th letter in the alphabet of the Hebrew is the Yod. 10 is Wheel of Fortune. It's a 71.076. And then when we bring in the elements again, we get lutetium again. 71 is lutetium, Lucifer, Lucy. And then 76 is osmium, the Wizard of Oz. Osmium. That's linked to battery. Battery's 19. It's a battery. When you add up 71 plus 76, you're going to get 147. There's that 47 again, tetragrammaton. And when you look at the colors, folks, it's clear. Darth Vader, root chakra, the lower parts, aka earth and hell, that's where we're at. And then the blue represents the throat chakra. As I'm speaking to you right now, I'm using my Saturnian energy. Saturn runs the throat. He runs our words. That's why it said the word was God. Yeah, because when we speak, we use the Saturn energy, the throat chakra, the most dominant color in nature. It's the as above color, and the red's the so below. It's crystal clear what this means. And then there's the subtlety. There's the X. See the X right there that they make? 4 faces of God. The chromosome. Just subtleties that you got to look for. Now let's get into the actual character Lucy. If you watch the show Netflix, Lucifer, his brother, and some of the characters, they call him Lucy. That's short for Lucifer. If you've seen the movie Lucy, great movie. A lot of nuggets in there, telling you what's going on. Lucy's alchemology, the 4 letters it is, going to the trusty calculator, is 27.04. When we use the medicine cards, the 52 cards of the medicine deck, using animals or insects instead of numbers and symbols, you get the dragonfly. The 27th card is the dragonfly. The great dragon was hurled down. Folks, is Lucy the dragon? And the dragon, is it possible that it's these constellations hurled down from heaven? This is above our heads, in the heavens, or below it perhaps. When you take the 4 elements that's tied to Lucy and alchemology, and you do the numerology on those, lithium, carbon, lithium, hydrogen, it comes out to the number 333. And remember, if you've seen my decode on the coronavirus, The Eyes of Darkness, written by Dean Koontz in 1981, on page 333, he talks about the Wuhan 400. Talks about the coronavirus in 1981 on page 333. Tied to Lucifer. And the subtleties, it's got 28 letters. Lucifer is 28 numerology. And is Lucifer the man in the box? Are we the man in the box? Are we the offspring of Lucifer? Well, what about the man in the box? If you know the song in 1990, a song off the album Facelift by Alice in Chains, Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Chains, In Chains. They had a song called Man in the Box, Alice in Chains. Alice being chained up in the box. Man's a 10. That's linked to the Yod. And then box is a 14. And the 14th card is the dog card, opposite of God. When you take your dog out for a walk, you got the harness or leash on him, and you're the handler of the dog. Who's handling you? Oh, you say, oh, nobody handles me. I make my own decisions. How are you to prove that? How are you to prove that the voice in the back of your head is not controlling you? You can't. Can't prove it. You can only give your opinion, but we're dogs. Gets handed down and down. Energy just goes down. Are we in the box? Folks, we're in the box. The box, the square, the 4 corners of the earth, north, south, east, and west, the box, the square, the tetragrammaton. We are the man in the box. It's got a total output of 44, and then we bring in the string of pi. 44 appears at the 59th and 60th decimal digit of pi, and I have the 50th element here because 59 and 60 has a total output of 119. That's the element tin, the 50th element. This is the merger of worlds element. And remember, in Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, he was searching for his heart. Searching for his heart. To win the game, follow your heart, but you got to make sure you have knowledge as well. And some subtleties, I decoded the Georgia Guidestones. It's crystal clear. This is everything to do with the reptilians, the draconians here on Earth that live amongst us. Absolutely they do. And, the merger of worlds. They want to be in control of that. The top reptilian card in the deck, the alligator card. The alligators that live under the sewers. Really quickly, folks, not to get off topic, but this has everything to do. We're in the box, tied to Lucifer, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. This is the guy who wrote the song Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. Lane Rutherford Staley. Notice it's a 77. His birth name is tied to Iridium, which is tied to the rainbow, the 71. The 77th card in the tarot is the King of Pentacles. It's the king of the diamond suit. Pentacles means diamonds. Then it ties to the King Diamonds card, the 39th card. It rules over us. It rules over our emotions. This is the emotional card, the king of the emotions. You want to persuade somebody? Get them emotionally involved, and you'll persuade them. Man's being used. 39 is linked to yttrium. Yttrium's linked to radium because yttrium has an atomic weight of 88. Radium has 88 protons. This is Rey. In the last 2019 Star Wars movie, the hero of the movie was Rey. It was Rey and Ben, but it was the feminine Rey. There it is, Rey. And Ra, the Egyptian sun god, sun deity. A lot of syncs with this, folks. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Now we're going to get into some esoteric stuff. Are you ready? So if you haven't figured it out yet, I already said in the beginning, but the diamonds in the sky are the constellations, the stars, the as above that rules over the top of us. That's why if you study astrology, folks, it's accurate. It's accurate because it rules over the earth. That's the king over the earth, the diamond suit, the emotions. And I've inverted the chakra points with the human being here because this is us right here, upside down. We live in the upside down world. Down the rabbit hole Alice went. We get here, and we're just the mirror of this. Here are your planets outside of us. And here's us inverted, looking down, looking up. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. The rainbow's there, folks, because the red, if you look at a rainbow, the red is at the top, violet's at the bottom. And there's the root chakra. There's the root chakra. So it's just inverted. That's all it is. Now we get into the cards, folks. I promise you, this is going to educate you. It's important to know this stuff because this is how it works. To define this matrix. The 4 suits, the 4 seasons. I've only placed 4 here because I didn't have enough space, but here are the 4 classical elements that make up our world. Fire, air, water, and earth. Fire, air, water, earth. These are the 4. And these are the 4 suits that are in line with these. Fire is hearts. Air is clubs, which denotes the mind. Diamonds is water, which denotes the emotions. And earth is spades. Hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. Diamonds are tied to the zodiac sign Cancer, because Cancer is a water sign. It's tied to the elements of the zodiac sign Scorpio. These are water signs. Diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Notice the 4 elements in numerology equal the number 55. Of course, the subtleties, 17 letters. That's the 1 through 7 colors on the rainbow. That's a direct match of the 4 faces of God as talked about in Ezekiel 1 verses 10. 110's linked directly to Lucifer. Ox, lion, eagle, man is the 4 fixed signs in astrology. That's a 55. So these are completely in bed together. And the 55th element is cesium. Cesium means sky blue. And cesium is linked to atomic clocks. Atomic weights. Atomic clock. Clock, folks. Time. Father time. Satan equals 55. The 55 is linked to iron, which is the 26th element. God equals 26. They're all linked together, folks, telling us the story. And there are the suits, just real quick. You should take a snapshot of this, save it for yourself, or if you want to, just send me an email and I'll send it to you. My email is decodeyourreality@gmail.com. Fire is hearts, air is clubs, water is diamonds, earth is spades. Spades, we got to go up. That's why it's pointing upwards. That's why this is pointing downwards. Fire starts first from above, earth is at the bottom, and we must go back up again. That's why these symbols are the way they are. Just to give you another rendition of it, 55 is linked to 10, 5 plus 5 is 10. The 10th card in the tarot is the Wheel of Fortune. There is the X right there. The Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh is right on this wheel, the Hebrew spelling of it, and Torah. You got the blue and the red, denoting red shift, blue shift. Santos Bonacci talks a heck of a lot about that. 4 faces of God, right there. The scribes writing our world. And then it's tied to the X because it's the 10th card. The Roman numeral X is the X chromosome. There are the 4 fixed signs of astrology right there. The 4 elements. Fire, air, water, earth. Something like that. Don't know where they would actually sit, but nonetheless, these 4 points are the 4 elements, are the 4 fixed signs. Right there, the X chromosome. Now just follow along. I'm going to narrate this through with you, folks. There's a lot going on here, but notice, you see, what rules our world is the King, Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8. And we're at the bottom. We're the color of the rainbow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, ace. Ace is 1. So we're 123, and then you could say the Elohim that run over us are the 88. There's that 88 again. And I know this has merit because, see, folks, when you add up 88 plus 123, you're going to get 211. What is 211? It's the 47th prime number. 47 is the box we live in, the tetragrammaton. The prison. And that's tied to the element silver, quicksilver, tied to Mercury, which rules over the crown, the rainbow. Mercury is red. Crown is 23. Mercury is 23. And then, again, yttrium is 88. There's the snake's tongue. There's the flux capacitor in Back to the Future and time travel. And it's linked to these right there. If you divide 88 divided by 123, you're going to get 0.71. That's tied to lutetium, Lucifer, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. 88 rules over the 123. Folks, 123, this is us. We're the colors of the rainbow. We're light beings made up of the light spectrum. The light spectrum is red through violet, 7 colors. There are the 7 cards. And that is 123. The 52nd element is tellurium because it has an atomic weight of 123. 52. There are 52 weeks in a year. 52 weeks in a year. And so, folks, I could have spent all the time on this, but this is it, folks, right here. I mean, you want the knowledge, the wisdom, according to the cards and the stars and astrology. Here it is, folks. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. So that's it. I mean, the diamond suit is Lucy. That's what the Beatles song was talking about. The diamonds. It runs our emotions because the diamonds is the water suit. If you want to persuade somebody, get them emotionally involved with you. That's how you're going to make a decision on anything in life. So these are very persuasive cards. And we're here. This is us. We're the spade suit. We got to go up. That's why it's pointing upwards. Ascension is upwards. And, in the diamond suit, folks, the card that holds it all together is the 7 diamonds card. That's the glue that holds all these cards in. The 7 diamond, the connecting point. 7 is the number that denotes the separation point of heaven and hell. We're in hell. This is it. So going a step further, the 7 diamonds card is the 33rd card in the deck. The 33rd card in the deck, which is why the crucifixion story is Jesus was crucified at age 33. The 33 steps, the 33 vertebrae in our spinal cords, the Kundalini rising, all those stories are linked to the 33. And arsenic, the 33rd element, is poisonous. Notice arsenic has an atomic weight or mass of 74. We're going to be getting into that. Some of you already know what that means. That's tied to tungsten, illumination. Light bulbs, they light up stuff, illumination. 7 diamonds. And then, when you say 7 diamonds, it's 144. As in the 144,000, the chosen ones. Kind of the catch-22 is when you go into the string of pi, 144 digits in, it's going to total up 666. So the 666, the number of the beast that we're told, again, in the story, is tied to the chosen ones, 144,000. Pretty interesting. Interesting. And, I said the 74, tungsten, illumination, both of these characters carry that in the English ordinal numerology cipher. Now remember, Lucifer did not have this as its original spelling, but as fate would have it, it doesn't matter. The original Hebrew spelling is 39. 39, Hyll, which when you go back to this, there it is, 39. Hallel is Lucifer's original spelling and pronunciation in the Hebrew Bible of Isaiah 14 verses 12. 39, 88, 88 constellations, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. 88 diamonds, folks. This is what rules over the earth. The emotional part, the divine feminine. This would be the divine masculine right here on earth itself. You could say this is Venus, and you could say this is Mars. Could look at it that way. But there it is, and that's why we're told all this 33 stuff and what it's linked to, and it's clear. Arsenic ties it all together. 74 and 33 are inside that box, man in the box, and Jesus and Lucifer both carry that. Now, did the Romans choose this output so it would match Jesus to piggyback off the energy of Jesus? Because, this definitely is, make no mistake about it, Jesus is the good cop, Lucifer's the bad cop. That's the story that we've been told. But has it been inverted? Because a lot of things in our matrix reality have been completely lies. They've been completely lies. But nonetheless, this isn't even the original spelling. It's Iesous. So, again, but as fate would have it, this is what we're looking at. But make no mistake about it, Lucifer is Halo, which is 39, which is 88 constellations. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. This is my last slide. So just to give you another indication of what's going on, what's running the show, I said this in my Decode of Lucifer Part 2. Folks, from all my research now, everything leads to the Gnostic demiurge called Yaldabaoth, the octopus that covers the earth. And that's the Tetragrammaton, that's the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, that's the makeup of Allah, and all the gods that people worship, they're all the same, they're all tied to Yaldabaoth, which feeds off of our energy. Man's being used as energetic food. Your emotions are ruled by this suit right here. Your emotions are tied to this suit right here. And this is being fed. This is feeding something. The as above, it's feeding something. It's feeding Yaldabaoth. Divine feminine, divine masculine is 109. That is the 29th prime number. That is Yaldabaoth. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Both androgynous. And these are the two suits, because we're the spade wanting to go upwards. And the diamonds is what's running our emotions. Divine feminine, divine masculine. Diamond spade is 47. That's Tetragrammaton. That's the box. The square inside the circle, which has a triangle on top of it. They all fit inside that sphere. Pi. Perfect circle. The subtleties. Copper, 29. Copper equals 33. Boaz and Yachin equal 33. The pillars in Freemasonry, the pillars in the Temple of Jerusalem, or the Temple of Herod, one or the other. Probably the same. made of copper, made of brass, very conductive of electricity. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Our emotions, divine feminine, divine masculine. So folks, what is it that you saw during this presentation? Notice, again, it's all connected. It's a 52. So when I say, what did you see? It's 52. It's linked to this card right there, which is your King Spades card, which is your king over the earth. It's your masculine side. The one that kind of runs your show, mixed with the emotions of the feminine. But the divine masculine, the King Spades, is 50. This is the 52nd card. So when you make your decisions, you're using the 52. You're using your King Spades card, which is the most powerful card in the deck because it rules over the earth on the physical. So I think it's pretty crystal clear, folks. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Divine feminine, Lucy, divine masculine with the spades. And ascension going up through the 33rd card, which is arsenic, which is the crucifixion. So folks, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. Thank you so very much for all your support. I appreciate you watching.